Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. We're heading in. Today at noon, there's going to be the sentencing of a gentleman for seeking to join Al-Qaeda in the Arabic Peninsula. But back in the world of what was really drawing the biggest crowds yesterday here in SDNY, the civil case, Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. Now, it turned out I was interested in it because of the gag order aspect. There had been a request by Blake Lively's lawyers from Wilkie Farr to shut down Mr. Friedman from his extrajudicial statements, but it actually didn't happen. There was Judge Lyman said he didn't even want to go this far, which was to reaffirm and apply the New York Professional Rules of Conduct 3.6 to the case, which is about not poisoning the jury pool. Very murky about what will violate that rule. And so I believe that there'll continue to be statements, which is all to the good, because it's a case that although in some sense it's tawdry, it has a cultural resonance. And so we're working on a project about it. That's all I'll say for now. Now today, Eric Adams, with still the issue of whether he'll be getting not a pardon, a case drop, or perhaps a plea down to a misdemeanor from the SDNY Sovereign District. He's going to be up in Albany today. It's called Tin Cup Day. He's basically making his pitch for New York City slice of Kathy Hochul's budget. But in terms of the politics of it, various of his opponents for mayor will have a chance to question him. Zoran Mandani, Jessica Ramos, maybe even Zelnor Myrie, who we've yet to mention on these airwaves. We'll see. We'll see what happens up there. We'll be trying to track that one as well. But, of course, there's the terrorism angle, and we're definitely going to be covering that. The sentencing is at noon in front of Judge Berman. And speaking of terrorism, the kind of something that has yet to really have the chickens fully come home to roost on it is the issue of UNRWA and the UN. Things can happen, but when the head of the UN, Antonio Guterres, essentially covers up the involvement of UN staff in a terrorist attack and tries to kind of shame those who bring it up and say that they're against humanitarian aid, it's pretty bad. Now, we asked yesterday what the connection of the departure of the OIOS, Office of Internal Oversight Services, Ben Swanson, his departure from the UN after having effectively covered up UNRWA and Guterres' censorship was. But of course, we don't have an answer yet. But we will not cease. We will not cease. Now, we're coming up on the courthouse, but today, no paparazzi. The interest in the Al-Qaeda and the Arabic Peninsula sentencing, not high. But we'll be there. So watch this site, Inner City Press, to be continued.